What's up, y'all? It's your boy Rodimus here on a Monday. And on today's episode, I am going to talk about the NBA playoffs. Now, the NBA playoffs aren't fully set yet. We have the NBA play-in tournament, which I personally think is dumb. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a lot of y'all think that way. I'm sure a lot of y'all out there agree with me. The NBA play-in tournament is completely stupid, pointless, useless, but it is what it is. However, I feel as if you have the top 8 teams in each conference, whether it be the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference, already fighting for the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Another favorite time of the year for me, the NBA playoffs. Just to look at the matchup so far, we have Cleveland versus Atlanta in the Eastern Conference, and we have New York versus Toronto also. And then in the West, as I'm looking at my notes here, we have the LA Lakers, LeBron and the Lakers taking on KD and the Houston Rockets. That should be a good matchup as well. And then we have the Denver Nuggets taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, as I mentioned, the play-in matchups start tomorrow and Wednesday to be exact, with the 8th seed matchups on Friday. So for the Eastern Conference, we have Philadelphia taking on Orlando, and then we have Charlotte taking on Miami. That should be a good matchup. I think that's going to be a very underrated match throughout the whole week leading into the playoffs. And then in the West, we have the LA Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors, with the Phoenix Suns taking on the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, just to be clear, I'm not giving my predictions just yet because nothing is set in stone. However, I'm just running down the cards, or running down the matchups, if you will, for the NBA play-in tournament. Now, the question is, who do I think will win these matchups? That's the question. Me personally, looking at this with Philly, Joel Embiid, it just seems like every time this man um is on the ascension, if you will, trying to stay healthy, trying to lead his team to the playoffs, it's always something. So that's going to play a factor for that's going to be a factor for Philadelphia. Orlando, they had that good season last year. They've kind of fallen off. So therefore, I think Orlando's going to win. That's my pick. I think Orlando's going to win. And then the second matchup, Charlotte. I mean, let's talk about the Charlotte Hornets for a second. The Charlotte Hornets have been the most surprising team of any team this year, right? When you think of the Charlotte Hornets, you think of practically nothing. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but you don't really think of Charlotte Hornet. You don't really think of the Charlotte Hornets as you would think of a Miami or a Boston or a New York, to say the least. And they're taking on the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat, they're always sort of up there. They've had that championship experience in the past, with LeBron and D Wade and stuff like that, so they know what it's like to be there. Um, like I said, I think that's going to be a good matchup. Who do I want to win that one? I'm going to say Charlotte. I want to see Charlotte get in the playoffs. I'm not sitting here saying that Charlotte will win the NBA title or nothing like that. That's not what I'm saying. But I would like to see them, with the season that they're having and the talk around them. I want to see them get in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Because the winner of that matchup will get the 8th seed, I believe, and will play the Detroit Pistons. So my pick, I'm going with Orlando and Charlotte in the East. And then in the West, we have Phoenix and Portland. Phoenix, they've kind of been up and down this year. Portland, I really haven't paid much attention to. But if you were to ask me who I'm picking, I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns. I think the Phoenix Suns will win. So that's just my personal opinion. And then the Los Angeles Clippers and the Golden State Warriors. Now, here's my thing with that. The Clippers, they've made some noise this year. They've kind of made some noise this year. With Kawhi and all that type of stuff. I don't like how they did CP3. That's a whole nother conversation. And then the trade with James Harden, so on and so forth. But they still found ways to make some noise in the Western Conference and hopefully get into the playoffs and things. Golden State, we know what Golden State can do. We know the type of team that they are. You know what I'm saying? So I don't it's kind of tough for me. It's kind of tough for me trying to bet against Golden State because even when you do, they find some way to prove you wrong. and they found ways to prove me wrong personally. But I'm a fan of Golden State. Don't get me wrong. Steph Curry, I mean, we don't need to talk about him. Draymond, that whole crew. So it's kind of tough for me. I'm gonna go to Clippers. I'm gonna say Phoenix and the Los Angeles Clippers make the playoffs. I think Phoenix will get the 7th seed. LA will get the 8th seed. And like I said, not Portland, but Orlando and Charlotte are my picks in the East as far as the play-in tournaments are concerned. But give me y'all thoughts. What do you think? How do you think the NBA play-in tournament matches will shape out? Give me your thoughts. Who do you think will win the matchups tomorrow and Wednesday, to be exact? So other than that, like, share, subscribe, comment. Give me your thoughts on everything as far as the NBA playoffs are concerned. Next video, once everything is set, I will give my predictions, or better yet, before everything is set. I'll put it that way. I will give my predictions on the NBA playoffs, who I think will advance, who I think will make it to the NBA finals, and who I think will win the NBA championship. Because you got a lot of teams out there. You got New York, Boston, LeBron and them, KD and the Rockets, Detroit. So this year is going to be very good. I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, the NBA playoffs are one of my favorite times of the year. So, we'll see how everything shapes out. Give me your thoughts on it. Let me know how you feel. Other than that, my name is Rodimus. That has been my point of view, and I'll catch y'all guys next time.